Lewis Carroll, whose real name was Charles Lutwidge Dodgson, was born on January 27, 1832. A mathematician, logician, photographer, and Anglican deacon, he became famous as a children's author. At Oxford, he befriended Alice Little and told her fantastic tales that became Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, published in 1865, and Through the Looking Glass, published in 1871. Carroll also wrote whimsical nonsense poems and puzzles. He spent most of his career at Christ Church, Oxford. He remained unmarried and left behind beloved children's stories. Carroll died in Guildford, Surrey, on January 14, 1898. Lord Byron was born on January 22, 1788. A leading Romantic poet and satirist, he wrote Childe Harold's Pilgrimage and the comic epic Don Juan. Byron inherited a title at the age of 10, toured Europe, and gained fame for his rebellious, flamboyant lifestyle and passionate affairs, for example, with Lady Caroline Lamb. He championed liberal causes and joined the Greek War of Independence. Lord Byron died of fever in Missolonghi, Greece, on April 19, 1824. Charles Dickens was born on February 7, 1812. As a boy, his father was jailed for debt, and 12-year-old Dickens worked in a blacking factory, an experience that influenced his later writing. He became the most celebrated Victorian novelist, creating vivid characters and sharp social commentary. His classics include Oliver Twist, A Christmas Carol, and Great Expectations. Dickens married Catherine Hogarth, they later separated, and had many children. He died of a stroke on June 9, 1870, at his home, Gad's Hill in Kent. George Eliot, the pen name of Mary Ann Evans, was born on November 22, 1819. A leading Victorian novelist, she adopted a male pseudonym to be taken seriously. Eliot lived for decades with philosopher George Henry Lewis, whom she could not legally marry, and wrote realistic novels exploring rural life, morality, and psychology. Her major works include Adam Bede, The Mill on the Floss, and Middlemarch. She died in London on December 22, 1880. Thomas Hardy was born on June 2, 1840. An English novelist and poet, he vividly depicted rural Victorian life in his fictional Wessex. Hardy married Emma Gifford in 1874, but their marriage became unhappy. After her death, he married his secretary, Florence Dugdale, in 1914. His famous novels, such as Far from the Madding Crowd, Tess of the D'Urbervilles, and The Mayor of Casterbridge, often feature tragic heroes facing social pressures. Hardy also published poetry. He died in Dorchester, Dorset, on January 11, 1928. Mary Wollstonecraft. Shelley was born on August 30th, 1797. The daughter of philosopher William Godwin and feminist Mary Wollstonecraft, she eloped at 16 with poet Percy Bysshe Shelley. During the famous summer of 1816 at Lake Geneva, she conceived her Gothic masterpiece, Frankenstein. Frankenstein, considered an early science fiction classic, made her name. After Percy's death in 1822, Mary returned to England and edited his poetry while writing her own novels. She died in London on February 1st, 1851. Elizabeth Barrett Browning was born on March 6, 1806. A leading Victorian poet, she wrote powerful love poems, sonnets from the Portuguese, and the verse novel Aurora Leigh. As a young woman, she suffered chronic ill health, but still published acclaimed collections. In 1846, she famously eloped to Italy and married fellow poet Robert Browning in secret. In Florence, she campaigned against social injustice, for example, in the poem The Runaway Slave at Pilgrim's Point. She died in Florence on June 29, 1861. William Wordsworth was born on April 7, 1770. A founder of the English Romantic movement, he co-authored lyrical ballads in 1798 with Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Wordsworth grew up in the Lake District, whose landscapes inspired poems like I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. He later married his childhood friend Mary Hutchinson and became Poet Laureate of Britain from 1843 to 1850. His introspective nature poetry helped define Romanticism. Wordsworth died on April 23, 1850. Rudyard Kipling, full name Joseph Rudyard Kipling, was born on December 30, 1865. An English novelist, short story writer, and poet, he wrote tales of British colonial India and children's stories. His works include the poem If, the ballad Gunga Din, and the children's classics The Jungle Book, published in 1894, and Just So Stories, published in 1902. He married American Caroline Balestier in 1892 and had 2 children. Kipling often addressed imperial themes, as in his novel Kim, published in 1901. He died in London on January 18, 1936. John Ronald Royal Tolkien was born on January 3, 1892. A philologist and professor of English at Oxford, he achieved fame for writing the fantasy epics The Hobbit, published in 1937, and The Lord of the Rings, published between 1954 and 1955. As a youth, he fell in love with orphan Edith Bratt. They married after he turned 21, and she inspired the character Luthien in his legendarium. He created detailed invented languages and mythologies for his fictional Middle-earth. Tolkien died in Bournemouth, England, on September 2, 1973. Thanks for watching till the end. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It really motivates me to keep creating more content.